Okay, it's 2026, which means that this year we kick off the Olympic qualifying procedure. That's not going to be until later in the year at the World Championships in Ningbo, China, but things are going to get pretty exciting. Everything this year on the Weightlifting House News Show. If you want to get information sooner, then just sign up to the newsletter. I'll put a link to that down below. Interesting news. We actually spoke to Rahmat and Abdullah about a month ago. We asked him, are you going to go up to 85 kilos or down to 75 kilos when the category changes? Quick reminder, currently he and Rizky, his teammate, are both at 79 kilos. Last quad, they had the issue of both being in the same weight category. Only one of them could go to the Olympics. It was Rizky. He went on and won. Rahmat said, 85 is too big for me. I'm going to go 75. Rizky also told us he was going to go 75. So we thought, okay, the battle's going to happen again. But then the Indonesian Olympic Committee just announced that Rahmat would be competing as an 85 kilo weightlifter at the upcoming Olympic Games in LA, which means that they're going to be separated. It also means that we're going to see Rahmat versus Abdo versus Yeison Lopez versus Marin Robu. It's going to be a wild category in 85, so we're very excited. Let's get on with the big lifts. From Team USA, Caden Cahoy just block snatched 160 kilos, and then he cleaned 208 kilos and almost jerked it. Now, you might be thinking, that is ridiculous. He's not been able to do those sorts of lifts before. He hasn't. We've never seen him lift that much. But I reached out to him. Are you still going down to 75? I said. No, he's also going to go up to 85. So he's going to make the move to a heavier weight category too. It's just crazy how so many of these previously 73 kilo lifters went to 79 and then have decided, you know what, I'm just going to continue on up to 85 rather than coming back down to 75 when the categories changed. From the Dominican Republic, 69 kilo weightlifter Fransheska Matias, she hang snatched 110 kilos for 2 singles, and I think she doubled 105 before that and 100 before that too. So at the World Championships, she went 102 in the snatch, 128 in the clean and jerk. She came 7th. So the fact that she's now hang snatching 110, she's doubling 105. I know she's been around for a while. It's not like she's new to competition, but I feel like she's really suddenly on the up. Next up, speak of the devil, Abdo Younes himself, the man who was basically the highlight reel, I would say, of the second half of 2025. He attempted a 170 kilo snatch plus hang snatch. So he is the Egyptian 79 snatch world record holder. He's moving up to 85. I actually asked him last week, are you going to go to 88 in preparation for the African Championships or the competitions that he competes in this year? Because he's got African champs, he's got Mediterranean champs, which he wants to do as well. Or would you just stay at 79, wait for the classes to change, and then move up to 85? He said he's undecided yet. He's sort of had a few weeks off. He's back to training now, and he'll make a decision pretty soon whether to go up to 88 and then come down to 85, or maybe even never go fully to 88, but just sort of gradually start moving to 85 now, or whether or not he'll wait. We don't yet know. Oh, but anyway, the lift. He snatched it. And then he went from the hang and missed it. But still, it's over the world record. Like if any other 79 was doing anything like that, we'd be freaking out. We're just so used to it from someone like him. Next up, from France, 59 kilo, Melin Michel. She just squatted 140 kilos for a set of 5. So she's the junior silver medalist, European. Or is it under 20? Yeah, no, she's the European junior silver medalist. I think she's just 21 years of age. So at 59 to be back squatting 140 for 5, big things coming from her. France, looks to be doing pretty well at the moment, particularly on the women's side of things, although they do have a few really exciting men coming through as well. But for her to be coming up, joining the likes of Garance Rougeau, who's a 58, I think it's very exciting for Team France right now. Next up, crazy lift. Olivia Reeves, 110 kilo snatch for a set of 5. I actually did a set of 5 once in the snatch. Obviously, we've all done, most of us have done sets of 5. I did like a 5 RM once, and it wasn't at 110, I can tell you that much. Very insane lifting from her. And she said in the post that she maintains that a set of 5 in the snatch at 110 is easier than a set of 5 in the clean and jerk at 110. I actually kind of know what she means. We used to do these training camps, and we'd have to do, I think it was like 120 clean and jerks, and it would just be, we'd have to do for sets of 4. And It was meant to be like, just, they're not too heavy, just do them, move through them. But something about that kind of weight would just, like that many, because it's kind of like 2 lifts, let's be honest. Even though you're putting it to the same height, it feels like you're doing twice the work than a snatch. So it would just gas you out. So I kind of know what she's saying. It's a bit of a baller thing to say that it's easier to snatch 110 for 5 than clean and jerk it for 5. I think if you can power clean it, maybe that's different. Power clean and power jerk. But yeah, 110, oh my word. Unbelievable stuff. Also, I've just sat here thinking, we did not do 120 for 4. It was either 120 for 3 or 110 for 4s. Clean jerk, clean jerk, clean jerk, clean jerk. Anyway, it was brutal and it tired us all out. Next up, we have Yeison Lopez, world champion at 88 kilos. He just hit a 215 kilo clean and jerk in training. So that equals his best ever clean and jerk, which he did as an 89 from the Bolivarian Games just, a month and a half ago now? 2 months ago? Something like that? No, yeah, a month and a half. I think he's the front runner, realistically, when the new 85 kilo category comes in. I think he can make that cut down to 85 just fine. He's very muscular, but he's not like the leanest athlete you've ever seen. There are certainly leaner Colombians out there, so I have to believe he's able to cut down to 85. And then it's going to come down to how much of an advantage in the snatch can he maintain over somebody like Rahmat, because Rahmat's going to have a big clean and jerk coming up to 85. It's going to be massive. If Rahmat can, overtake Yeison in the clean and jerk by 6, 7, 8 kilos, can he be within 5, 6, 7 kilos in the snatch to move ahead of him? I'm not sure he can. Same with Abdo. Can Abdo catch up in the snatch or even overtake Yeison in the snatch? Possibly. I just then don't know if he'd have the clean and jerk. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Next up, we have the Iranian 94, Alipour. Phenomenal lifter. Did he take bronze at the World Championships? I think he might have. No, of course he didn't. It was Carlos Maini-Seder, Joxer. He might have placed 4th. Anyway, he just hit a 222 kilo clean and jerk at a national competition in Iran, which is crazy. I mean, that is the weight that Carlos hit to win the World Championships. It was a world record. I mean, these world records are sort of meaningless at the moment because the weight class has changed. The world records get reset. 222 at 94 should never be a world record. The real sort of world record of that weight is 233. Back in the day, there was a 235 at 90. That happened twice, at least. Kaki did it, Krapati did it, and Viktor Solodov might have done it. I think maybe 3 athletes did 235 at 90. But anyway, 222, it's not like an all-time world record, but it's a massive lift for Alipour to hit. Then we have a crazy split jerk. Well, it's a clean and jerk, but it's the split jerk that's crazy. Akbar Kurmanbek, Kazakhstan, 18 years old, 79 kilos. I mean, first off, it's just a big lift. I mean, 200 is 79. It's only 6 kilos under Rizky's world record, and he's 18. So, he's in training. Maybe he weighs 83, to be fair. But, I mean, there's no denying it's an impressive lift, but the split is just... It's just like that level of commitment to go that wide. When you go that wide, you're not getting out from under that very easily. If your arm goes... Obviously, he's going to be able to pull his front foot back. He's going to get out of the way. But, he's committed to that with absolutely no fear of 200 kilos over his head. I just thought it was a sensational looking lift. I absolutely loved it. So, totally worth a shout. And then also at 200 kilos, not weighing 79, but weighing 90. No, I don't think he's 94. Bradyn Santavy hit 200 kilos, a personal best. It was a goal of his for a long time. I don't know how heavy Bradyn is. Okay, he is 94. Yeah, he is 94. My bad. I thought that maybe he was bigger. I think once he went and competed at 109, but maybe just because it was going to be easier, so he just weighed in heavy. I think that's possible. Something like that. Could have been. I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyway, 200 kilos, it was a goal of his since a kid. So I feel like whenever anyone hits a milestone at that level, it's certainly worth a shout out. So congratulations to Bradyn for that. Uncle Russ and Akbar Djuraev. Tea is being spilt. Oh, before we do that, by the way, our new leather wrist straps are out. They're absolutely incredible. They're selling like hotcakes, which is awesome. People loving them, saying that they're really helping with anyone who's got wrist pain, a lot of support, lots of good compression. Sometimes people just prefer leather. So we've got those out now in a bunch of different colors. And you can get 3 for 2 mix and match on all of our accessories. So if you want to pick up some new accessories for the new year, belts, knee sleeves, wraps, straps, you name it, we've got it. It's chosen by champions. And if you haven't worn them yet or tried them, I promise you, you won't regret it. I'll put a link to the 3 for 2 down below. Okay, so for the Weightlifting House newsletter, which we send out via email every Friday, we do athlete interviews. And we put them in the newsletter because it's not easy to speak with all of the athletes. They speak different languages. It's not easy to coordinate times for podcasts, that sort of thing. So we do written interviews. So if you want to learn from more of these athletes, that's how you do it. It's in the Weightlifting House newsletter. We've got thousands, tens of thousands of weightlifters who get that. So if you want to get all of the news, that's how you do it. And we spoke during December to Ruslan Nurudinov, and then the following week to Akbar Djuraev, the two Uzbek Olympic champions at 105 and 109, now both 110s, obviously. And I'm not going to run through the whole thing, but I will take you through a couple of interesting questions or responses that we got from Ruslan. So we asked him, Uncle Russ, what have you and Akbar learned from each other over the years? And Ruslan said, that's a tough question. I wouldn't say he's learned anything from me, openly at least. Considering how reserved he is, it's hard to teach him anything, because that requires a dialogue. And when you don't get a response, you can't tell what stays with him and what leaves his mind in an instant. I thought that was just hilarious. Because I've seen them interact, and we've asked him that question a few times, and he always shuts it down, especially if Akbar's there. He doesn't like this idea that he's... I think his fear, which is what he said to us, is that Akbar hasn't learned anything from him. Interesting, when we did ask Akbar, he said that he sees Ruslan, I think, as an older brother. We also then asked Ruslan, this is for those of you who are over the age of 30, what's the biggest change to how you approach weightlifting after 30? He said, well, I don't make the changes, my age does it for me. The only thing I've done right was realizing it in time and reducing both the intensity and volume of my training. Nowadays, if I'm not training, I'm recovering and undergoing therapy treatments. When I was 20 or 25 years old, I did up to 14 training sessions a week. Now, no more than 5. And also, when we spoke to Akbar, by the way, he said, I had done 245 kilos in training and he will lift it in competition. So for those of you who are wondering, I'm just scooting over Ruslan there for some reason. For those of you who are wondering, why did Akbar attempt the 245? Was it just for the vibes, whatever? No, he actually does intend to do it and he has made it before. Next up, Bahrain has acquired more weightlifters. Now, you'll have noticed this since, I think, 2022. Bahrain sort of entered the international weightlifting circuit. They first got Kurmanbek from Armenia. Then they got Lesman Paredes from Colombia. Since then, as some of you will have noticed, they've got, for example, Vanessa Segura, who is also from Colombia. She's absolutely incredible at 69. She lifted very well at the World Championships, got some medals. They also brought in a new Colombian 94 called Yeison Lopez, who's just 18, and he snatched 160. But we have a new round of recruits. So 2 new athletes, 1 male, 1 female. The first, I think, if we're just purely talking about this from if you had to look around and find talent and try and recruit them, I think this is a very good decision. Joxer Albornoz, the Colombian 94. He's 21 years old. He medaled from the B session at this World Championships with a silver bronze. He did, 175, 215, I think. Just unbelievable. And he weighed 91 kilos when he did it. So when he's a full 95, you could even go up to 110 one day, but even at 95, 4 more kilos on body weight, a few more years under his belt, 180, 220, silver behind Carlos. I mean, just unbelievable. I think he'll be the rising star there. Then on the women's side, they've just brought in Alina Marushak, who used to compete for Ukraine. She's an 86. She hang snatched 125 a few weeks ago, which we put on the news show, you might remember. And I think that 86 kilo class, we're going to have to see what happens. I mean, does Liang Xiaomei return? What happens with Team China? Is there anyone who's going to come back and sort of push Solfrid and or Peguero? I don't know. But if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Alina Marushak. She can snatch up with them for sure. And she never quite had that 150-ish clean and jerk, but she is strong, so she might be able to get there. So yeah, I mean, that roster now, Kurmanbek, Vanessa Segura, Yeison Lopez, Alina Marushak, and Joxer Albornoz. It's an unbelievable team. Finally, we have a new pop, unfortunately. It is the Bulgarian 73, 2023 silver medalist, Andreev Bozhidar. Some of you remember at Paris he took the silver medal. He did a backflip on stage. No, he took a bronze medal, sorry. Rizky Wirafon Bozhidar. Then he retired, and now 50 months later he might lose that medal. So what's happening? Here's a quick update. On December 17th, the International Testing Agency, the ITA, notified Andreev that his sample collected on October 15th from an out-of-competition test contained traces of the anabolic steroid mesterolone. He's been provisionally suspended. Bulgarian news sources have reported that Andreev intends to fight the accusation. He's already submitted paperwork to the ITA, and he had signaled, I think, prior to this, and certainly continues to say this, he intends to actually come out of retirement and return to competition, ideally in Georgia at the European Championships 2026, which are, I think, April 16th, I think they start. So make of that what you will. Will he beat the test? Unlikely, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, finally then, top 3 lifts from this week. We're going to have to go with Olivia Reeves 110 for a set of 5. I think that's clear. Then I'm going to go with Alipour 222 clean and jerk. That's over Yeison Lopez's 215 because he did it in comp. So that beats it. And he's obviously a weight class up. That's why there's a 7 kilo jump. And then I think third, I'm going to go with, just for the grit of it, actual Kurmanbek, the 18-year-old Kazakh lifter, because of that split jack at 200 kilos. I just thought it was sensational. Head over to weightliftinghouse.com, 3 for 2 across all of our accessories. Don't worry, our apparel range is coming back into stock soon, and we have a load of new, really cool stuff. Some examples of it there coming out this January too. Appreciate you all tuning in, and I'll catch you all on another episode of the Weightlifting House News Show.